All right. I hope I'm back live. I do not know what happened, but I probably just got punished for using a PC to stream a Mac repair series. So I restarted the computer, restarted the stream, and despite rumors to the contrary, I did not trip any circuit breakers. So I do not know what happened, but I'm going to blame Streamlabs because, well, they probably deserve it somehow, anyways. So, well, I know, Jay. I wish I had a Mac I could stream from. I will rectify that situation just as soon as I can. But unfortunately, as a spoiler alert, I think my car is going to take my Mac money. I will know more tomorrow. But my car is making noises that it should not be. So I am taking it to a mechanic tomorrow to have them diagnose the engine. I would love for it to be an easy repair, but my suspicion is that it's an idler pulley. And that is not a cheap repair. Although, I guess it could be worse. But considering 2 years ago I sunk $3,200 into the engine, I really don't want to have to pay any more to fix the engine again. Yes. All right. So, we'll go back to the table view because, well, it's a Mac. It deserves to be on the table view. So, I guess I could, all right, I do have the caps for it. That's not the problem. Yeah, I have caps for the LC. I've got more caps for the LC. And then I do have caps for the power supply. So I was able to. So I have caps. That's not the problem. Hi, Sodium. Yes, you are in my stream now. Well, I guess I can start to recap as long as I don't run into any trouble. I mean, I do have what I need. I've got leaded solder. I've got flux. I've got a solder sucker. Ah! There's the replacement tube I tried to find Sunday. Okay, maybe it'll actually work 5% better now. Well, actually, maybe that's a bit too long, but... Oh. Yeah, low cost of $9.95 per minute. Actually, Steve, I believe $9.95 per minute might... No, that's not cheaper than my mechanic. It's almost cheaper than my mechanic. But not quite. All right, so I've got the power supply. I have it taken apart. Well, mostly have it taken apart. I really wish Apple did not solder those wires on, because soldering wires is not my forte. Oh. These connectors don't by chance pop out, do they? Seriously, that's really how much I do not like soldering wires back in. But it kind of looks like I am going to have to probably do something. All right, anyways, so the current condition of the power supply is as follows. If anyone's curious. So I suspect this capacitor's fine. I did order one that'll fit. If I find that's not the case, it was not easy finding where Mouser hid those big capacitors on their website. But I think I did find one that actually... now I'm curious. Now I am curious if it would actually fit. Because I think... well, it's smaller in diameter. Oh, it is... Oh. Well, it might not actually fit, because it's actually... Yeah, the big cap looks fine. This actually might not fit. Even though by the dimensions it looked like it would. I'm going to hope I don't have to use it. I did order it just in case. But... I'm going to have to measure it again, Steve. Oh, the legs are the problem. I actually don't know if it'll fit, because these are the legs on it. Which I suspect probably, well, if the holes on the bottom of the board are big enough, the legs would actually line up, but unless I have to replace that cap, I'm not going to desolder it just for the fun of it. So anyways, oh, please don't tell me the stream just abruptly ended again. Is my ISP causing me trouble tonight? All right. Now I'm going to YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio. Live. Am I live? Oh, maybe I am actually live. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was not sure from Steve's comment if he was crying because my stream abruptly ended again. So, okay, that's good. I'm still going. All right. I have other capacitors. I have a web browser because my printout of the recapping guide is upstairs. Let's see here. I even put the links in the video description. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's quite possible that one will not fit. All right. So I did look. This power supply appears to match Bruce's recapping guide. So, oh, yeah. Yeah, and actually, if you look, it is actually still, oh, okay, it looks like it dried up, but actually about 2 weeks ago when I was trying to, opened it up the first time to measure it, the cap juice was actually liquid. It seems to have solidified, and I keep touching this heat thermal compound, which is gross. Which is why I'm wearing gloves, because I keep touching it. I probably might as well just clean it off, because I'm going to have to reapply it anyways. All right. Actually, Jay, I have a link. Oh. Well, I had a link in the first video's description. It is quite possible that when I restreamed, it's not. It did not make it over to the second stream. But it is. Just as soon as I can. Make it so that I don't keep swiping my hands on that. All right, let me copy and paste. So that is the LC recapping guide that I am using. And yes, these appear to be Nichicon caps, which I thought were supposedly good, but, well, I guess they're good and bad. Of course, then again, I know there's been several phases of good caps, bad caps in the industry, but yeah, these caps are just all in sad state. So I have, let's see here, I should have, all right, okay, that's the other one I should not need, because these two are usually fine. But I have, let's see here, should be 270, 25 volts, 270, 10 volts. Let me just go down the list on it. 47 25s, 56 25s, 270 25s, and 1000 10s. Yep. Hey, Joe! I'm going to attempt to repair this LC. Yay, thanks for the subscription. Oh, there's one other thing I need to do. I borrowed the plug for my solder station. All right. Oh. All right, thanks for the subscription, Zodium. I guess since I've been too lazy to... I need to switch over to just OBS because there's several issues I'm having with Streamlabs. Not the least of which is they're apparently just a really bad company. We won't go into that. But I subscribed to them because I thought Streamlabs OBS was OBS. Yeah, not really. Streamlabs OBS is OBS about as much as if I took McDonald's' Big Mac recipe and made a clone. I guess it did start as OBS, but yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, OBS is open source. They could have forked it and used it, but they shouldn't have trademarked it. I mean, that's a big no-no. And I actually subscribed thinking it was OBS and would get some of the features. So, actually, I still have. I may need to add a little more solder on that to desolder it. Oh, yeah. Might also help if I didn't cut the tube on this kind of too long. There we go. Oh. Or I could just melt the insulation. Oh. Oh. Oh, yay, I got one of the pins out. Well, I melted some of the PVC jacket, but I guess nothing that I can't fix with some heat shrink tubing. All right. Well. Yep, all right. Let's see. Will this unplug? No, of course not. Well, it'll just be in my way. All right, so I guess all right. Well, I'm just gonna remove these caps one at a time because, well, what else can I do? Ah, lovely. That that smell of fish. It's kind of like if you leave a empty can of tuna on the counter for like 3 days and walk past it and you get that whiff of fish odor. That's probably what I'll have to do, yeah. The pump is helping some, but I'm gonna give the pump one more try. See if I can get a little more of the solder out. All right. Come on, Cap. You can do it. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, the bottom of that one looks really bad. Alright, so that is 25 volts, 270 microfarads. Alright, let me see if I can get the holes cleaned out. I have to go to some solder wick here. There we go. Oh. Still a little bit more in the hole. Let's see here. It might be good enough to get a capacitor in there. Yeah, they are, and I can also see the bottom of the... Oh, well, okay. There might be solder flux on the bottom of the capacitor, but... because I did use flux to remove it. Alright, so... I think there's the next cap right here. If anyone's wondering, I only have my solder station set to 650 because I have the incredible superpower of destroy pads on boards. If so I am erring a bit on the side of caution. Ew. Yeah, I can see the come on. Focus. Well, I mean, it's not in focus, but you can probably see the brown crunchies that were on the bottom of that capacitor. Maybe someday I'll actually manage to find the mythical, elusive camera for live streaming that actually cooperates when you need it to. Cue all the other YouTubers in the chat going ha 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 ha. I don't think there's any Elna capacitors. It looks like they're all Nichicons. Except for the safety caps, which are Okaya. Or it's probably Okaya or something like that. I've heard good things about it too. I might actually risk it and buy it from someplace that has a really good return policy. But at the moment, though, I kind of like the camera I've got overhead. Bruce, if you're watching this sometime, thanks for the suggestion of a camcorder, because actually it's what I'm using now, and well, I mean, it has its focus troubles too, but at least it's autofocus. The camera I had up there beforehand wasn't autofocus. And it was a DIY camera, so it had really bad MJPEG artifacts. So, nothing against the Raspberry Pi camera. I'm sure that the camera module's great, but the open source project I was using to turn a Raspberry Pi Zero into a webcam, the only compression setting you could set was MJPEG, and it made the pictures look really crunchy. And by crunchy, I mean, think JPEGs from the 2000s that were really compressed way too much. There we go. Does a microfarad 10 volts? Yep. All right. I am just as a good practice when recapping, just to double check that there's no surprises. I am checking the caps as I pull them off to make sure I don't have like some elusive no one knew about it revision of this power supply. So far everything's matching up with the recapping guide. Alright, and see, I think that one's the next one. And hopefully I will be ordering some ultrasonic cleaner fluid soon. I am first just waiting to make sure that I know what is wrong with my car. So as long as I don't break down on the way to the dealership tomorrow, I'm good. And yes, I know, most dealerships suck, but I seem to have managed to found one of the rare dealerships that actually their service department treats you right. Or at least they have so far. I'll let you know tomorrow if that trend holds. They treated me right when I bought the car. I bought the car from them, and so far the service department has treated me right every time I've taken the car to them. So, but I guess the thing is, the other thing is, I can actually usually get in to see them. All right, so that was 1,000 microfarad, 10 volt. So far, so good. All right, see, the next capacitor is I think it's actually these two pins here. And actually, one of these two pins is one. There were some pins that when I first took this power supply apart, I said these pins don't look so hot, and one of these pins is that. So it's quite possible this capacitor just might have had a bad solder joint, but it needs recapped. Ew. Actually, that solders. Ugh. Actually, the reason that solder joint looks bad is because I think the solder joint's bad. Ew, that's... Hold on. Yeah, they scare me too. All right, now was that the capacitor, or is that... Oh, that was the capacitor. Yeah. 25 volt, 56 microfarad. Okay. Yeah, that capacitor looks really bad. In fact, actually, that one soldered joint, I now see why when you see... I think Bruce was mentioning on one of his streams of having to basically add solder to get the eutectic mixture back correct to be able to remove the solder. Yeah, that is exactly what I was experiencing on this one. In fact, I'm trying to... I need to add some more solder and there you go. Let's see. Trying to clean the solder joint out. All right. I think maybe I'll try the... All right. All right, beautiful. All right. Let's see here. I guess the next capacitor is... oh, that one. At least on this one, I'm sure I've got the pins. Yeah, actually, these leads are bent. I don't know if they did that at the factory or if someone's recapped this supply before. Although if someone's recapped this supply before, well, That probably not. It's probably factory. Yes, it will be. Yeah, I don't know if you were on the stream, Steve, when I mentioned it, the first one, but the Macintosh LC is the first Macintosh I ever used. So while this is not that LC, because it was one the school system had, and I suspect they got rid of the LCs at an auction when I was not at an age to have known to go get one. But so this particular LC does not have sentimental value, but I do have memories of the LC, so that's why I wanted one. And maybe someday I'll actually get a 2E card for it, because the ones they had at the school had the 2E card. But first, let me get an LC working. Then I want to get the software that I remember being on it. So luckily there's the Macintosh Garden for that. Then I'll probably play with HyperCard some, because why not? Because the thing is, they had the 2E card in them, but I don't remember using the 2E card much. Actually, the school that they may be in some storage room at some of the schools, but they actually remodeled this particular school after I went to it. So I suspect at that school they are not in a storage room at the school. Although, quite honestly, that might mean they're in a storage building in the central office. So yeah, if I went back to that school now, it would be very obvious I did not belong in there because I would be lost. They remodeled. And from what one of my brothers went there after they remodeled it, and from what I remember him mentioning, it was very different inside. So, interestingly enough, it seems like I got to go to all the old versions of the schools, and I think my middle brother got to go to like in-between versions. And my youngest brother got to go to the new versions. Do I have a beveled tip? That is a good question. I have a... Okay, that's a conical tip. C3... I have a C1, a C2, and a C3. Are those beveled tips? I don't know what the part numbers are for beveled tips. So if someone could give me a hint. I also have a T18B. Okay. I'm zoomed in about as far as I can. It's a Hacko FX888D. So okay, so it's not the C tips. Then we're down to a can't read the rating on these without magnification because I've used them. It's a T18S4. Oh, the third one I just held up. That was is it one of these two, Jay? It can't be that. That's a chisel tip. Not those two. Is it that one? Chisel. Oh. Ah, okay, so I actually did. Okay. All right. I'll swap tips out. Okay. We have to wait a moment for this to cool down enough that I can actually do something with it. Unless oh. It's okay, Jay. In the end, we figured out what you actually meant. Okay, that's not going to work. I thought I could get away with removing that while it's hot, but instead I was, well, okay, let me try this. This might actually grip it. It was twisting the wrong part of the soldering iron. All right, I am a trained YouTube professional. You probably should not try hot swapping these tips because I don't think they're designed to be hot swapped. Believe me, this iron is still... I know, Joe. I have that solder station on my wish list. Maybe someday. I actually had one. But it got broke during the move. dropped. I think Jay loves beige just about as much as he'd probably love some of the paint choices that were present in this house. Yeah, I don't think Jay would like some of the colors that I've found in this house. There are some. Let's just say that maybe the current color slate of colors in this house are acceptable, but as I've been replacing outlets throughout the house and removing outlet plates, I have found some really lovely colors. And by really lovely, I mean, ew, ew, get that out of my sight. I don't want to think about that color again. Who would even paint a room that color? Alright, so now that I have actually forgotten what I was trying to desolder. There we go. It must have been this. Oh, I probably ought to try to remember to order more flux before long, or I'm going to run out. Oh. Oh yeah, I think I see what you mean about this chisel tip. Oh, wow, that was so much better. I know, it's like, so quick. Oh, and that was, well, I'm sure it was the right capacitor. That was the 27025, I think. Oh. All right, and let's see. This one is, I think it's these. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. See, that's the jumper wire. Ah, okay. Must be these two. I hope it elevates to new heights because I've had some pretty awful lows in soldering. Shall we say this board here and that lovely bodge? The board that seemingly sent 7.5 volts. Although I'm questioning that actual voltage measurement because 7.5 volts should have fried every discrete chip on the board. Wow. How did I ever solder with this? No, I have not set myself on fire with the iron. Luckily, the closest I came is I touched this pullover with the hot end of the iron, but despite the fact that I thought I smelled the smell of hot clothing, I have yet to find where I actually burned the pullover. Um, so maybe that just goes to show how nice of a pullover Carhartt made. Or maybe I just have yet to find what I actually touched and burned. Like, maybe it's this chair. All right, I think I got all the caps off. Let me double check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute. Two, three, four. So I got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. I have removed 8 capacitors. And 3, 4. Oh, okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah. This is the fun part. Let's see here. I have 91% isopropyl alcohol. And I have a bottle of flux cleaner that is not even worth walking over and getting because it works that bad. Also, 4 out of 5 dentists may recommend your preferred toothpaste, but 6 out of 5 dentists do not endorse using the toothbrush you use to clean boards in your mouth. I guarantee that is an accurate. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be ordering some ultrasonic cleaner fluid soon. The funny thing is, if you could see behind me, you would see that I have like umpteen bazillion gallons of distilled water. I think the grocery store probably. I'm pretty sure they looked at me funny and thought I was a prepper when I went through the checkout with all that water. And I guess in a way I was prepping to clean circuit boards. Yeah, I'm gonna try to clean this as best as I can, and I might actually go. I'll take now. Actually, that cap juice is actually coming out fairly nicely. I may have to clean a couple of these pads off. I guess while I wait for the alcohol to start to evaporate, we can take a quick peek. Oh, don't worry. It's probably out of focus for me, too. Oh, yeah, that's. So we can. Now, decently in focus for both of us now. I guess if anyone's wondering, the field of view in these microscopes. So I guess you can see the power connector, but I can actually see the capacitor pads that were beside it. Which it looks like looks like the capacitor pads there are a. Well, it looks like that one's a little bit damaged, but it's probably okay. Floppy Emu. Oh. Oh, yeah, I would probably recommend a Floppy Emu too, even though I don't have one. That's also on my list at some point. There we go. Let me see if I can do something about this isopropyl alcohol, because it's causing issues for all of us. Here's my can of... I'm just spraying the... Alright, now let's see if I can't. There we go, that's better. I was having trouble with all the LEDs on the light of the microscope reflecting off the alcohol. Alright, so it looks like that. Some of the pads look a little rough, but it does look like oh, okay. Part of that's probably the fact this is a single layer board, so there are no vias. Yeah, some of the pads are a little rough, but I suspect it should solder just fine. Actually, Joe, this is not an Amscope. This is Justin bought a cheaper one and had even more trouble getting it to work than he would have if he bought an Amscope. Try the brand I bought. I couldn't get any of their cameras to work properly. None of their cameras could I get to actually be in focus with the eyepieces. So it would have been a constant battle of I'm in focus and my audience is complaining, or the audience is in focus and I can't see a thing, or I'm trying to use the screen on the computer. All right, so I think the pads look fine enough to solder. I'm going to go ahead and start soldering them. All right. So let's see here. So there is 3 of these. And luckily, the recapping guide... Oh, the board is marked. Okay. So these are the... Yep, 1000 microfarad, 10 volts. And let's see, that goes there, and there. You know, if I put the rest of the capacitors on, they'll kind of hold each other in place. I can bend the pins slightly more. All right. Actually, all right. I should probably use flux on these. That's weird. Soldering I wanted. Let's see here. That might be fun. All right. Now that one capacitor's up higher than I want it to be. Very carefully. There we go. The other two are good. All right, there's those three. And we've got two 270 25 volt. No, I'm just soldering one leg at a time. I don't have the skills to solder both legs at the same time. I'll get there, maybe someday. All right. 270 25. And 270 25. Yeah, I'll get this LC recapped. Well, the power supply, it looks like I'll be able to finish the power supply tonight. A bit of gunk still in the PC by the top right cap. Yeah, there probably is. I can't, I can't get anything in there to clean the board. I'll have to get it when I ultrasonically clean this power supply. I'll, Oh, well, I do see that gunk. There is maybe just a little bit of there is some gunk here. I'm hoping that what's left on the board will ultrasonically clean because yeah, I'll have to go run upstairs and get some. Yeah, because there is actually something on this board I do need to clean off before I solder a capacitor there. All right, let me put you on some cool hold music because I gotta run. Oh wait, hold on. Oh nope, never mind. I was about to say, oh, maybe there's some cotton swabs in the glass cleaner. All right, well, let me put you on hold with some cool music because I have to run all the way upstairs to get cotton swabs. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right. I have Q-tips down here now. And now I also know that I need to put Q-tips on my shopping list. I guess it's better that I know now than when I actually need some more. Yeah, there was definitely gunk here on the board here. Let's see if I can get Ugh. Yeah, that looks nasty. Alright, let me see if I can't get, yes, I wanna... little extra cleaning detail. Oh, I was about to say, that Q-tip was looking really gnarly, but then I realized someone marked a bunch of these capacitors, and that was actually the permanent marker that I was looking at on the end of the Q-tip. All right. All right, that looks better. I think now everything else that's on the board, I'll just have to get it when I ultrasonically clean it. So hopefully this is good. Because I finally figured out where I could order the stuff I want to order. All right. All right. It's decent. All right, and there's one. You can see the 56 microfarad 25 volt. There's one. This one was the one that was really bad. It wouldn't surprise me if this one I'm soldering on now, the one I pulled off, was the possibly a primary contributor to it not working. Because it was one of the... It was probably the worst of the capacitors. All right. And let's see here. 147 microfarad, 25 volt. connector. This one is the one where I tried to find one that's slightly wider pin spacing, but could not. It's fine. And last but not least, 270, 10. One of these. There we go. All right. The capacitors are on. So I gotta put the power connector wires back on. Otherwise, we're not powering this up. All right. And now, ground. See if I can't. There we go. Drop that back down where it goes. All right. Well, I guess there's only one way to test it. And that's to plug it in. All right. It's live. And it should be on. And well, I guess first. Oh, no, I'll check DC. All right. Well, if I can find a way, get that to stay in frame. All right, so oh, it would help if I 12 volts, 5 volts, 5 volts. Well, I had 5 volts for a moment. Well, yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it looked like maybe it's right. Well, it wasn't so far off that I. Well. All right. Off. Keyboard go. All right. So I've got video. Got keyboard. All right, we've got power. And power switch. Wait a minute. I got a fan. Ah! I think I might have heard it chime too. Well, that is a. Hey! We got a floppy. Boot floppy. Yeah, I know. Um. Yeah, it looks like. All right, let's see what. Hey! Hey, it's got After Dark on this hard drive. Oh, actually, I don't know what's on this hard drive. I'm going to take a quick peek with it not showing. Um, because. Oh, look at that. Okay. Alright, this mouse works horribly. But that's okay. Okay, there's nothing. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything like personally identifiable that was going to appear on screen. Or other things. This. No. I can make it bigger. Oh, there we go. That's a little better. System 7. 4 megabytes of memory. Okay. Yep, I was thinking those were two 1 megabyte sims. Wow, System 7. Yeah, I'll have to back them up as soon as I can back them up. Because this computer said no boot. I'm going to have to clean this mouse probably. Mac money. Ooh. Let's not start that by accident. That could have someone's information in it. Because, yeah, let's see if I can enable color. I'm probably going to have to clean this mouse before too long. Alright, let's see here. I think that is that. No, that's monitors. Come on. Oh yeah, that would explain why this works horribly. Hold please while I give this mouse a cleaning that it hasn't had for probably 20 years. Yeah, I see some interesting control panels too. Oh, maybe that's the one. Well, I don't know that that's going to have helped much, but Oh, yeah, there's a dehumidifier running in the background. There we go. Oh, that's better. That's much better. All right. After dark. All right, this mouse is going to require an intensive cleaning. But oh yeah, more VRAM, definitely. I might be able to tweak with the capture card off stream to get rid of some of the moire pattern. What is this multi-driver? No cache driver found. Control panel only works when a caching SCSI driver has been installed. Huh. Soundmaster. Oh. Look at all these sounds. Sound events. Yeah, we'll have to check this out at some point. Because I know as much as I'd like to check this out now, I'm going to need to end the stream soon because I do have to make sure I get to the dealership on time tomorrow. Not that that's any guarantee I'll get a shuttle ride to work in a reasonable amount of time, but I definitely know I will not be at work at the time I want to be at work if I get there late. Oh. Okay, I was about to say, please don't tell me that their way of deleting their personal information was by just throwing it in the trash can and shutting down. It does appear as if that's just rescued files. Yep, and this mouse is going to drive me nuts. So, oh, no, this is Mac OS 7, which means I gotta get the mouse over here. Yeah, this mouse is going to need an intensive cleaning. So yeah, so I guess I will Yep, so now I know that the LC seems to work. It definitely needs recapped because there's a nice I mean, there's cap juice on the board. I know it needs recapped. I have the tantalum caps in here. So, oh, you have not shown the table. So I have tantalum caps. So, in a future stream, when I get ready to do surface mount recapping, I have the caps. At least I know the power supply works. The mouse needs cleaned before I try to use it. But yeah, I'll also explore what's on this hard drive because obviously, now from recapping it, it appears as if it was marked no boot because it didn't even power up. Yeah, I know. Yes, And I wish it was cleaner than it is, but anyways, so success, power supplies recapped. So I guess I'll take a look at trying to back up what's on this hard drive. Probably what I'll do is somehow I'll set up my Blue SCSI. Maybe I'll have to get the adapter that lets me plug it externally, because this would and use it as a way to get the files off. Yep, I'll get the files off. I don't have a zip drive, so I'll have to get an adapter to let me plug this in externally, or an adapter to plug the hard drive in externally. But yeah, please smash that like button. And with that, I'm going to close this stream out. So have a good evening, and I will catch you all on the next stream. So take care.